The internet and the whole way we can find anything we want by just typing into Google and getting so much information is absolutely amazing. It's basically made the way I make a living online possible. Without it, I couldn't have found out how to do things. I couldn't promote things. I couldn't build websites. I couldn't make money like I do. But there is a major problem with it. And it may sound like something stupid to say, but there's almost too much information. And it's actually quite serious. Information overload is something that can stop you from taking action. So much advice, some of it good, some of it bad, quite a lot of it conflicting as to what you should do, what's most important, things that you have to do, and this, that, and the other. And particularly so with doing stuff online, making money online, internet marketing, content marketing, and all this kind of stuff. There are so many so-called gurus, and there are actually quite a lot of genuine, really good quality people out there offering some great information. But the problem is, there's so much information and so many people. It's hard to know what's trustworthy for a start, and also what you should follow, what you should do now, because you'll hear people say things like the most important thing you can do online is build an email list. And while email lists are fantastically important and they're great, and you can use them to do lots of things in the future and sort of help communicate and promote and all sorts of things, it's not the most important thing to do straight away. There are lots of things you need to do before this. But if you didn't know that you had to do all these other things, learn all these other skills. First, you get bogged down in email, how to put an email subscribe button on your website, how to optimize it, how to get clicks, how to tweak this, how to tweak that, how to split test this, how to split test that, how to write headlines, how to write your open paragraph of your email, how to do this, how to do that. There's so much you can get bogged down and almost, it'll stop you from actually doing anything because there's so much that people are telling you to do. Some people will say, hey, you have to use a big red button that says subscribe, and other people will say, no, don't use red, it's a danger sign, you have to use green because that means go, and you should have the word let's get started because it's more proactive. And there's so much information, and it just stops you. And the people out there saying, oh, you've got a website, if you want to get any kind of traffic, you need to do advanced technical link building processes. You need to reach out to millions of other blogs and websites. You need to discover content on other people's websites and write better content and contact them and say, hey, you've got this bit of information, but I've got something better. Why don't you link to mine? Or, oh, there's these links on your website. They're broken. They don't point anywhere. How about pointing your new link to me? I've got really relevant information. And there's all sorts of stuff like this that all these gurus, all these experts are telling you to do. They say you need to do this. You need to get a really authoritative link or 10 links to your site. Otherwise, you're just going to crash and burn. You're not going to get any traffic. You're not going to make any sales, and all this kind of stuff. And again, there is some truth in it. Link building, getting links, getting high quality, relevant websites and blogs to link to your content sort of naturally is a good thing, and it's only going to do good things for your site. But again, it doesn't matter at the start. You can spend weeks writing perfect bit of content and then months researching other websites and reaching out and getting no replies and things like this, and it'll get you disheartened and it'll probably stall you and stop you from moving forward. Again, there's lots you can do and lots you should do before you get to this stage. It's all about starting at the right place, growing step by step until you have something. And suddenly, if you've got something, then you can worry about adapting and growing this. So I just want to make you aware of this. And if you are reading and listening to lots of other people and blogs, podcasts, whatever, and you're hearing all these tactics, oh, you need to be on Facebook, you need to be growing a following of tens of thousands, otherwise you're going to fail. You need to be creating perfect images for your site and your social media and all the rest of this. So reading all this and hearing all this advice, and you go, oh, how do I get started? What do I do? How do I do this? Don't worry about it, okay? If you've watched my free videos, you're already well ahead of the game because you know that it's pretty easy to get started. You just need to have a bit of focus, and again, step by step just build it up. And that's what you need to do. So if you haven't got anything going yet, or you've started and kind of stalled because you don't know which direction to go in, I strongly suggest, as I've mentioned before, you build your own affiliate website. You build your own Amazon affiliate website, okay? Go to Amazon, identify a product range, build a website around this product range, and try and learn the principles of creating content, attracting some traffic from Google, filtering it through, and making some sales and getting some commissions. Because if you do all this, you will learn, and without even knowing it, just by following the steps, you'll suddenly have a live website that's pretty well structured and attracting visitors and earning commissions. And then once you're there, then the world is your oyster. You can go off in all these different directions and say, okay, my goal is to build a huge email list. Well, you can start looking at that now because you've got a website and you're attracting visitors. But I want to warn you, you don't just build an email list for the sake of it. You've got to think, what's the point of building an email list? Why do I want a big list of people that come to my site and put their email in? You've got to have there's a whole strategy behind this in itself, and that's a huge thing that you can get really into, and it can be successful, don't get me wrong, but I worry that people get too focused on these different aspects without realizing what's important. And the important thing is get started, get something tangible, build it with a solid foundation so it's right. So when you do get there, you've actually got something viable, something you can actually build and grow, and it's actually working. So I just wanted to mention that because I suffered from it myself. I'm not just preaching, I've actually suffered from it. I've wasted hours and hours and weeks focusing on things that people have told me to do. I think I spent 2 weeks once researching and writing this one bit of content for one of my sites. It was massive, about 4,000 or 5,000 words long, loads of sections and images and links. I thought it was really good bit of work. And then I spent ages. I actually paid for software to help me out, reaching out to websites, following up with them, asking them to read my content, seeing if they thought it was useful. Could they link to me? Could they do that? Researching who linked to other similar bits of content and reaching out to them. And it may or may not have got me a few links to my site, but the time I wasted, well, not wasted because that content's on my site, but the time I spent doing that and all the effort and energy, and it was taking my focus from other areas. I think I was better off growing and maintaining what I do in a structured manner. But this is a choice for you later. But again, get started with an Amazon affiliate website if you're going to start learning and doing stuff online.